Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have another interesting game to share with you. On the white end, LeelaRookOdds, no Queen Rook, playing against Grandmaster FeegLood on lichess. I'm not sure interesting is the right term for this one. We have a 3+0 time control. I believe we're looking at a very special one here out of this Vienna game. You'll see what I mean 8 moves into this 20-move game. Follow up bishop d3, awkward. Center pawn obstructed, how's the bishop getting out? These are a couple quick thoughts that run through my mind at least. All right, why isn't it going to a more active square? There is that center fork trick. Exchanges are in there, center opening up. Should be good news for the side that's playing up the rook. Bishop d3 it is. Bishop c5, center challenged, energetic response to it. d5. g4, now available for a couple minors. Queen e2, castles, f takes e, knight g4, pop quiz, what's your move here? Pause the video if you'd like. All right, black clearly keying in on this f2 square. How many of you were on team knight h3? I'll develop the knight, cover f2, not Leela. After knight h3, knight takes e5 is strong. Bishop ready to fall next with check. Queen h4 check is strong. Leela says my king knight will not be denied its favorite square. Goes to f3, and black swings the bat completely around. Lands the fork. Now, if you're a human here, you see this attack and you respond with a counterattack, but that's us. Leela here says, I'm going to take another pawn. He takes d5 and allow you to take my rook. We are 8 moves into this game. LeelaRookOdds apparently doesn't need a single rook to defeat Grandmaster FeegLood. Now, as compensation, there is a big center, a healthy development. Leela also on move and now goes straight for the throat. Provokes a couple weaknesses. Now nearby, the knight is ready to come back into the game, land a fork, get an exchange in there, also bishop f5 nearby. Those two ideas are addressed with bishop c4. Now, the d pawn is free to advance. The bishop, opposite the king. Follow up, knight f2. Queen needs to find a new home. f4 it is. b5. Pitching a pawn to pull the bishop off this diagonal and open up a square for the bishop. Bishop captures pawn it is. Bishop b7. And now that the bishop is on b5, rather than c4, Leela uses this, makes use of this detail, plays b4. The queen now supports this advance. Now, after b4, the bishop backs off. We see bishop c4, knight d7, and white's next move is d4. If you don't include b4, bishop b6, let's say bishop c4 is played here, knight d7 is there, and then d4. Black has the option to play bishop b4, pinning the knight, and we will be seeing an exchange shortly. This is still a winning position here for black. But by first including b4 and only now bishop c4 and d4, this is no longer an idea to get an exchange in there. Dark square bishop for knight. All minor pieces remain. And with this last move, the bishop has been cut off from defending the knight. It will fall. There is no saving it. All right, from here we have c6. If black tries a5, opening up a file for one of the rooks, I believe b5 would be a contender. Nice response. Keep things closed. Place a grip over that c6 square. We have first c6. d6, a5 only now, and nearby, this pawn is ready to be captured. Knight is going to be under fire. Where will it go? Well, the knight covers e4. The knight can first be removed. Look at how timely this is. King takes knight. Pawn takes pawn. Now you have access to e4. Leela's pieces here drifting towards the black king, who does not have a great piece around to help defend. Follow-up, rook a5. And from here we have bishop e3. Final piece gets developed. Now, h6 is a big weakness here. If the queen goes to h6 here, looking next at some knight jump to g5, crashing through on h7, black would have here knight takes e5. Important detail, knight takes knight, there's bishop captures d4. So before diving into h6, let's unpin this pawn, develop that last piece. Pop quiz, how would you respond here? Pause the video if you'd like. Okay, believe it or not, black here has only one move that wins. Black up the two rooks. Needed to find c5. Doesn't play in this way. In the game, bishop a6 is played. In response to bishop a6, we have queen h6, and this is a winning idea, and we'll see why soon enough. Let's look at this only move that wins. There's a beautiful line here after c5. One of its points is to try and provoke d5. If d5 is played here, this bishop is shut down on this diagonal. The f-pawn would no longer be pinned. Why might this be relevant? Here's one sample line. Let's say after bishop a6, bishop exchange, rook exchange, queen here, f6 is a saving resource, keeping the knight out of this g5 square. There's nothing fancy either with the knight still going in here. Keep in mind, pawn takes, there's a check in that position. Okay. Another detail is that in response to c5, this, again, only winning move, if white immediately goes in for queen h6, black would have to find 6 consecutive only moves that win. And I'm not so sure that that would have happened. Keep in mind, black at this stage only has about 30 seconds remaining. Here is this only winning path. You could swipe the knight. Knight g5 is there. Threatening mate. Only move is to sacrifice the queen. Only move here is to take on d4. Only move to parry the mate is knight takes bishop. And then there would be this very timely fork. And finally, the pawn is swiped before black is mated. 6 consecutive only moves, many of them forceful, but only 30 seconds, I don't know. Who knows if this is actually how Leela would have responded. Be very curious to know if c5 was in fact played. Would Leela have pulled off queen h6? Possibly. All right, at the end of the day, we do not have c5 here. The play is with bishop a6. And now move 20, queen h6. Black is in a lost position. Black here knows it, and black resigns. What are you supposed to do about a knight drifting into g5 next, crashing through an h7? There just isn't a good answer to this. So for instance, if the game continued here with bishop captures bishop, knight drops in, you're not doing anything about this. There's no running either. Rook e8, check, and then checkmate. Also, let's say black moves the rook here. eyeing knight f8 to defend h7. f7 is very vulnerable now. This would still be there, hitting f7 and h7 at this point. Knight f8 covers h7, but then there's this fork. The rook falls, and check this out. Where would the queen go? Swarming the king side. You want to go back home? How's that for a pretty finish? LeelaRookOdds. Evil. Only a 20 mover here after queen h6. Doesn't need either rook. Unreal. Anyhow, your thoughts with this one. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.